Okay, so the converse of the corresponding angle postulate, if your corresponding angles are equal, then you can say that these lines are parallel. So converse of corresponding angle postulate, if two lines are cut by a transversal so that the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So last week we said, okay, if the lines are parallel, then corresponding angles are congruent. So the converse is just, okay, if the corresponding angles are congruent, then your lines are parallel. And then this one, the converse of alternate interior angles. So alternate interior angles are like this. If alternate interior angles are equal, then your lines are parallel. So you can use the congruent angles to prove that the lines are parallel. Then converse of alternate exterior angles theorem, same idea. If your alternate exterior angles are equal, then your lines are parallel. And then converse of consecutive interior angles. So consecutive interior angles are two angles that are right next to each other inside the parallel lines. If they are supplementary, so if they add to 180, then the lines are parallel. Okay, we got it down. Okay, the next one right here, parallel postulate. If given a line and a point not on the line, then there's exactly one line through the point that is parallel to the given line. So let's say this is the given line, and then we're given a point that's not on that line, saying that there is only one line that is parallel to this line through that point. And then for this here, converse of perpendicular transversal theorem. In a plane, if two lines are perpendicular to the same line, then the lines are parallel. So here you have a transversal, and it's perpendicular to both of these lines. So therefore, corresponding angles are equal, then these lines are parallel. Let's look at the back. Okay, so on the back, we're just going to do this part right here, and then we'll finish this up tomorrow. So here it says, use the given information. Which postulate or theorem would you use to show that R is parallel to S? So R and S right here, these being parallel. So given that 4 is congruent to 8, so looking at 4 and 8, those are alternate exterior angles. So we can prove that these lines are parallel because of the converse of alternate exterior angles. So our reason is converse of alternate exterior angles theorem, which says, okay, if your alternate exterior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Okay, 2 and 6, all we're doing is we're looking at the relationship 2 and 6, those are alternate interior angles. If those are equal, then our lines are parallel. So the converse of alternate interior angles theorem. Okay, the next one, it says given 6 and 7 are supplementary. So 6 and 7 right here, if they add to 180 degrees, then these lines would be parallel because of the consecutive interior angles. So converse of consecutive interior angles theorem. Okay, and then next it says given angle 3 is congruent to 5. Okay, so 3 and 5 are vertical angles. Yes, they would be congruent. However, we can't prove that this line is parallel to this line with vertical angles because these angles have nothing to do with the other line, so we can't prove that this is parallel to this. So for this one, it would be no, vertical angles do not prove lines parallel. Okay, so for the next set of problems, it says, is it possible to prove the lines are parallel or not parallel? If so, state the postulate or theorem you would use. If not, state cannot be determined. Okay, so for number 5, it shows these two consecutive interior angles. If these add to 180 degrees, then these lines would be parallel. So we're going to see if these add to 180, 122 plus 58. Okay, I get 180 degrees. So yes, P is parallel to Q because consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Okay, then the next one, number 6, it shows alternate interior angles are congruent. Remember, the one arc means that this is equal to this. And when alternate interior angles are equal, then our lines are parallel. So yes, P is parallel to Q because alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay, number 7, when I look at these two angles, these don't have a specific relationship that's like named, but I can still figure this out. So a linear pair, these two angles would add to 180, so I can figure out this angle. And then if this is equal to this, then alternate interior angles are equal. So I can do 180 minus 92, and we get 88 degrees. So this is 88 degrees. And then alternate interior angles are equal. And when alternate interior angles are equal, then these lines are parallel. So our reason is linear pair equal 180 to alternate interior angles are congruent. Therefore, L is parallel to K. So kind of like a mini proof. Okay, and then down here, it brings in the algebra, of course. It says find in the value of x that makes the lines parallel. Okay, so it has this little square right here. That means that this angle is 90 degrees. If these are parallel, then the alternate interior angles would be equal. So we can set this equal to 90. So 16x minus 6 equals 90, and we can solve for x. X equals 96. Divide by 16, and x equals 6. Number 8, here we have corresponding angles. If these lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles would be equal. So we can put 12x minus 4 equals 10x plus 10. And then solve for x. So subtract 10x from both sides. divide by 2, and x equals 7. Number 9, corresponding angles here. Corresponding angles are congruent if the lines are parallel, so we can set those equal to solve for x. 110 equals 6x plus 2. Subtract 2, we get 108 equals 6s. Divide by 6, x equals 18. Then for number 10, this one's a little bit different. These angles aren't equal. Notice how one's acute, one's obtuse. These are consecutive interior angles, which add to 180. So in order for these lines to be parallel, these have to add to 180. So the way we'd write this is 6x plus 20 plus 4x minus 10 equals 180. Combine like terms, 10x plus 10 equals 180. Subtract 10 from both sides. X equals 17. That is all. Okay, so your to-do list is homework 3-9 on Schoology, and then start your weekly Alex. Let me know as you have questions so I can help you. And grab a laptop.